There is a voice inside your mind that speaks to you all day long. You hear it when you wake up, when you make decisions, and even in your quiet moments. Sometimes it is gentle, but often it is critical, doubtful, and harsh. And the truth is, you may not even notice how much it affects you because it has been with you for so long. It feels normal. But this voice, it is shaping your life more than you realize. Every thought you repeat becomes something your mind starts to believe. When you tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "nothing ever works for me," your mind listens. It does not question you. It accepts it as truth. And slowly, without you even seeing it, your actions, your confidence, and your choices begin to match those thoughts. This is how your inner voice turns into your outer reality. But here is something powerful you need to understand. This voice is not fixed. It is not who you are. It is something you have learned, and anything that is learned can be changed. You have the ability to shift the way you speak to yourself, and that shift can change everything. Not overnight, not instantly, but in a real and lasting way. Imagine what would happen if your inner voice became supportive instead of critical. If it spoke to you with patience instead of pressure. If it reminds you that you are growing, that you are learning, that you are allowed to take your time. Something inside you would begin to feel lighter. You would stop fighting yourself and start moving forward with more ease. And this is where your change begins, not outside, but within. The words you choose to say to yourself today are slowly shaping the person you are becoming. So from this moment, you can begin to choose differently. You can begin to speak with love. There is a quiet pattern that keeps repeating in many people's lives, and most of the time, they don't even see it. It begins with small thoughts, like "I can't do this," "I'm not ready," or "this will probably go wrong." These thoughts may seem harmless at first, but when they are repeated again and again, they start to feel like truth. And once something feels true in your mind, you begin to act like it is true in your life. Negative self-talk does not just stay in your thoughts, it slowly controls your actions. When you believe you are not good enough, you stop trying your best. When you believe things won't work out, you don't take chances. When you believe you always fail, you expect failure even before you begin. This is how your own words create limits around you, without anything outside needing to stop you. Over time, this becomes a cycle. You think something negative, you act with doubt, and then your results reflect that doubt. And when the results are not what you want, your mind says, "See, I was right." This makes the belief even stronger. This is how people stay stuck, not because they are not capable, but because their inner voice keeps holding them back. But here is the truth you need to remember. These thoughts are not facts. They are just patterns you have practiced for a long time. And just like any pattern, they can be changed. The first step is simply becoming aware of how you are speaking to yourself. Because once you see it clearly, you can begin to break the cycle that has been keeping you stuck. Your mind is not fixed. It is always learning, always changing, and always adapting to what you repeat the most. Every thought you think is like a small signal being sent inside your brain. When you repeat the same thought again and again, your brain starts building a pathway for it. The more you use that pathway, the stronger it becomes. This is how your mind gets programmed over time. When negative thoughts are repeated for a long time, those pathways become very strong. That is why they feel so automatic and hard to change. But the same rule works in your favor too. When you begin to choose new thoughts, even if they feel unfamiliar at first, your brain slowly starts creating new pathways for them. With time and repetition, these new thoughts begin to feel more natural. This is not something complicated or out of reach. It is a simple process, but it requires patience. At first, your mind may resist. It may go back to old patterns because they feel safe and known. But every time you gently bring your focus back to a new, supportive thought, you are doing something powerful. You are teaching your mind a new way to think. Think of it like this: your mind listens to what you tell it the most. It does not judge, it does not argue, it simply learns. So if you keep telling yourself words that are kind, encouraging, and supportive, your mind will begin to accept them. And once your mind accepts them, your feelings, your actions, and your life will slowly begin to reflect them. This is how real change happens. Not in one big moment, but in small, repeated thoughts that slowly reshape the way you see yourself and the world around you. There is a powerful shift that happens when you stop speaking to yourself with pressure and start speaking to yourself with love. For a long time, you may have believed that being hard on yourself is what helps you grow, that criticizing yourself will push you to do better. But in truth, it only creates fear, stress, and self-doubt. It makes your mind feel unsafe, and when your mind feels unsafe, it becomes harder to move forward. Speaking to yourself with love does not mean you stop improving. It means you support yourself while you grow. It means you talk to yourself in a way that you would talk to someone you truly care about. You become patient with your progress. You allow yourself to make mistakes without turning them into proof that something is wrong with you. This kind of inner voice does not break you down. It builds you up. When your words become softer, your mind begins to relax. You stop feeling like you are constantly being judged from within. Instead of saying, "Why am I like this?" you begin to say, "I am learning and I will get better." Instead of saying, "I always fail," you begin to say, "I am growing through this." These small changes in the way you speak may not seem big at first, but they carry a deep impact. Love creates space for change. It allows you to move forward without fear. It gives you the strength to keep going even when things feel slow. And most importantly, it helps you build trust with yourself. When you trust yourself, you stop looking for validation outside, and you start feeling steady within. This is the kind of voice that transforms you. not the one that forces you, but the one that supports you. And when you begin to speak to yourself with love every day, you are not just changing your thoughts. You are changing the way you experience your entire life. The words you speak to yourself every day are shaping how you feel, how you act, and what you believe is possible for you. This is why choosing your words with intention is so important. It is not about saying something perfect. It is about saying something supportive. The goal is not to force yourself to believe something instantly, but to gently guide your mind in a new direction. You can begin with simple phrases that feel calm and kind. Words like I am learning, I am improving, I am allowed to grow at my own pace, or I am becoming stronger every day. These kinds of words do not create pressure. They create space. They help your mind relax instead of resist. And when your mind is relaxed, it becomes more open to change. At first, these words may feel unfamiliar. You might even feel like you don't fully believe them yet, and that is okay. What matters is repetition. Every time you choose to speak these words, you are planting a small seed in your mind, and just like any seed, it takes time to grow. You don't need to rush the process. You just need to stay consistent. It is also important to notice when your old thoughts appear. Instead of fighting them or getting frustrated, simply pause and replace them with a better thought. If your mind says, I can't do this, gently shift it to, I am learning how to do this. This small shift changes the energy of your thought without making it feel forced. Over time, these new words begin to feel more natural. They start becoming your default way of thinking. And when that happens, your confidence, your actions, and your life begin to change along with them. This is how your words slowly rewire your mind and guide you toward becoming the person you truly want to be. There is one important thing that makes your words truly powerful, and that is the feeling behind them. You can repeat kind words all day, but if they feel empty, your mind will not fully accept them. Your mind responds not just to what you say, but to how you feel when you say it. This is why feeling your words matters so much. When you speak to yourself, slow down for a moment and allow yourself to connect with the meaning of your words. If you say, I am becoming stronger, take a second to imagine what that strength feels like. If you say, I am at peace, gently let your body relax. Even if it is just a little, you do not need to force a strong emotion. Even a small, calm feeling is enough to begin. At first, it may feel a little strange. You may not fully feel the words right away, and that is completely okay. The goal is not perfection, it is connection. The more you practice feeling your words, the more natural it becomes. Over time, your mind starts to accept these feelings as real, and they begin to settle inside you. This is how your words start turning into your reality. When your thoughts and your feelings align, your belief becomes stronger. And when your belief becomes stronger, your actions begin to follow. You start making choices that match the way you feel about yourself, So as you continue this practice, remember this simple truth. Do not just say the words, feel them. Let them sink into you, even if it is slowly, because when you feel your words, you are not just speaking to your mind. You are shaping your entire experience from within. As you begin to change the way you speak to yourself, you may notice that the old voice does not disappear right away. It may still show up with the same doubts, the same fears, and the same greedy thoughts you have heard for so long. And when this happens, it can feel frustrating. You may wonder if anything is really changing. But this is a normal part of the process. Those old thoughts were repeated many times in the past, so they became strong patterns in your mind. They are not there because something is wrong with you. They are there because they have been practicing for a long time. So instead of fighting them or getting upset, try to observe them with calm awareness. Notice them, but do not give them power. When the old voice says something negative, you do not have to agree with it. You can gently respond with a new thought, not in a forceful way, but in a calm and steady way. For example, if the thought says, "I always mess things up," you can softly say, "I am learning and I am getting better." This is how you begin to loosen the hold of the old patterns. Letting go is not about pushing thoughts away. It is about choosing not to follow them. It is about allowing them to pass without turning them into your truth. The more you do this, the weaker those old patterns become. And slowly, they begin to fade. Be patient with yourself during this time. Change is happening even if it feels slow. You are not going backward. You are simply moving through the layers of what you used to believe. And with each moment of awareness, you are creating space for a new, kinder voice to take its place. As you continue speaking to yourself with love and patience, something quiet but powerful begins to change inside you. At first, it may feel small, almost unnoticeable. But over time, the way you think, the way you react, and the way you see yourself starts to shift. You begin to feel a little more confident, a little more calm, and a little more sure of who you are becoming. You are not pretending to be someone else. You are not forcing a new identity. You are slowly becoming the person you have been speaking into existence. Every kind word you repeat, every gentle thought you choose, is shaping how you feel about yourself. And the more you feel it, the more real it becomes. Your actions begin to change too. You start making decisions with more trust instead of fear. You begin to take small steps forward without overthinking everything. You stop holding yourself back the way you used to. This is not because something outside has changed, but because something inside has shifted. People may not notice it right away, but you will feel it. You will notice how you speak differently, how you carry yourself differently, and how you respond to challenges in a calmer way. This is the result of your new inner voice becoming stronger than the old one. And the most beautiful part is this: you start to believe in yourself without needing constant proof. You feel more grounded within, and that creates a sense of peace. This is what happens when you stay consistent. You do not just change your thoughts, you become the person those thoughts were shaping all along. Now take a moment and just sit with everything you have heard. There is nothing you need to rush, nothing you need to force. This is a gentle journey, and you are allowed to move at your own pace. The most important thing is that you are becoming aware. You are beginning to notice your inner voice, and that awareness alone is already creating change within you. Remember, you do not need to be perfect at this. You do not need to get it right every time, even if you forget, even if the old thoughts come back. You can always return to speaking to yourself with kindness. You can always begin again. And every time you choose a softer, more loving word, you are building a stronger, more peaceful version of yourself. This is something you can carry with you every day, in your quiet moments, in your challenges, and even in your small wins. Keep choosing words that support you. Keep reminding yourself that you are growing, that you are learning, and that you are becoming someone who believes in themselves. If this message connected with you in any way, take a moment to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and share it with someone who might need to hear this today. And don't forget to subscribe for more content that supports your growth and inner peace.